Welcome to the GCN Tech Show.
Coming up this week, we've got a new track bike, a new indoor trainer bike, carbon fibre bling for your bike, 11-speed support from SRAM, a 25-kilogram e-bike, and I learned that Ollie's heart only beats 5 times a minute.
What?
Yeah.
We're also going to be looking at obscure UCI tech rules. First up, let's take a look at last week's poll, which was on custom painted bikes. And we asked, if you had a fancy pants custom painted bike, would you ride it like normal and show it off? Or would you keep it as an piece of artwork and have it on display? Or are you not fussed about custom painted bikes? Well, 52% of you said that if you did, you would ride it.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. I like to think that I would ride it.
Okay.
But that beautiful one we featured last week was just so nice. I don't think you could.
Yeah. Oh, well, fair enough. So on to our main talking point. And what got me onto the subject of this was that I watched the Formula One at the weekend. And in case you didn't watch it or you haven't seen it yet, what caught my eye was the fact that Mercedes were in a little spot of bother with the FIA.
Oh, the Fédération Automobile... No.
International.
Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile.
You're basically French, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, the issue they got into was the rear wing on Lewis Hamilton's car, between the lower plate and the upper plate on the wing. The gap between them was 0.2 millimetres too large when like the DRS flap was open.
That's a bit...
That's
nitpicking.
It is nitpicking, but rules are rules. 0.2 millimetres is too big, I guess, if that's what the rule states, which was said to give him a little bit of a speed advantage down the straight. But it kind of got me thinking, what about some of the obscure or slightly finicky, picky rules that we have in cycling? So, I thought we'd have a little list. And the first one that I've got is if teams or riders don't wear their official UCI registered kit on the podium, they'll receive a fine. And that could be an individual rider or the team themselves. And it could be up to 1,000 Swiss francs.
Have you got an example of when this has happened?
No, not off the top of my head, but there have been a couple of examples. And luckily, I think it was a rule that was enforced and brought in after I finished racing, because there was loads of times when I wore the wrong stuff to the podium. I guess it stops people making it like a fashion show. You know, I'm big on my fashion.
What's, what sort of thing aren't you allowed? I'm just interested for myself.
For yourself?
For when I end up on the podium. No, what's not allowed?
Well, it just has to be the stuff that's registered for the teams. Right. So it can't be like casual clothing. It has to be branded up in the right logos, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, next one, okay, according to UCI rule 7.6, it's illegal to cycle on a cycle path.
What?
Yeah, so if you do cycle on a cycle path, then you face either a 200 to 1,000, depending on the magnitude of the offence, Swiss franc fine, and 25 UCI points taken off you.
Wow.
I
haven't got 25 to have taken off of me.
Yeah, and if you're in a stage race, you get a 20-second time penalty and an 80% penalty, don't really know what that means, 80% penalty in the points and mountains classifications, which you would probably be leading.
Yes, very renowned for my climbing ability, aren't I? What do you make of that?
Well, I think that the thing with that is, depending on what part of the world you're in, that will make either loads of sense or no sense. So in the UK, the cycle paths we tend to be part of the road. They're just like painted a different colour, but it's the side of the road.
Yeah.
So not cycling in that would seem like, well, the UCI is just trying to make 1,000 Swiss francs.
For nothing.
For nothing.
Easy money.
Easy, yeah. Whereas if you're riding in Flanders or Belgium, it's actually, under normal circumstances, illegal to ride on the road on a lot of roads, and you have to use the bike path. And the bike path is segregated by like the road, you've got the grass verge, drainage ditch, and then a separate little bike path. And you're supposed to use that if you're on a bike. So if you were to use that in a race, it could be dangerous because there could be spectators on it, or there could be like an advantage to be gained by going on that.
I remember
shortcut.
I remember a long time ago seeing someone sort of accidentally veer off onto a cycle path, as they were trying to attack, and you were like at the front of the peloton, and you just saw this guy come past everyone the other side of a like big ditch.
Yeah.
And then the cycle path gradually veered off and went the opposite way. And so you just saw the guy gradually vanish across.
He rolled the dice.
Yeah, it didn't.
He rolled the dice. It didn't pull off this time.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Anyway, I've got our next UCI obscure rule, which is Rule 1.03.002. Which basically, in simple terms, says hacks and bodges are a no. This is regarding to the use of tape.
They've been watching the GCN show.
They have been watching the GCN show. So using tape to smooth or alter the profile of some parts or aspects of your bike is a big no-no from the UCI. In fact, modifying your bike in any way other than how it was intended from the manufacturer, provided it's not been pre-approved by the UCI, is banned. Although they give a couple of instances when tape's okay. Bar tape, that's allowed. And tape over valve covers on disc wheels, that's allowed. But you can't tape over exposed bolt holes or stuff like that to try and improve aero.
How do you feel about that?
I feel like it's a very picky rule.
Yeah.
People are going to try and break the rules. They'll be like, oh, we need that because it serves a really clear purpose. But I'm not so sure on that. Anyway.
Yeah, that seems like a bit of a silly one. Tidy up your cables.
Oh, yeah. According to UCI, you can't have tidy cables. No. Next, what we got?
No window stickers on team race cars. So that's rule 2.2032.
Yeah.
We're in the finer print now.
Yeah, I've actually heard about this rule before, and it was to do with, you know, all the graphics over the team cars and stuff like that, and big sponsor logos. In the past, I think they've got a bit overzealous with their use of vinyl and like covered up some of the windows and stuff like that. And I think the reason behind it is to improve the visibility of the driver, but also so that as a cyclist and a rider within the race, you can see through some of the cars for what's up ahead.
Oh.
Obviously, if they're covered.
So that's actually a sensible rule.
It is a sensible rule, but
safety rule.
It can. I guess it's. Yeah, it could be kind of.
Is there a
picky.
rule on tinted glass then as well? You can't have tinted glass.
I don't think there is. No. I guess lots of cars come with that these days. No blacked out windows. No limo black windows.
Yeah. Bouncy castles are banned.
Within the race.
Kinda.
Yeah. This is an interesting one, isn't it? And I actually picked this rule out because we saw, it was Adam Yates, wasn't it, a number of years ago, or a couple of years back, where the inflatable archway across the road deflated.
Going to win.
Yeah, so that's a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the UCI, following on from that incident, they have gone to town on modifying their rules. And would you believe the detail they've gone into on some of this? Okay. Do you want me to read some of it out?
Hit me.
So obviously this rule is going to change as of the start of 2022. So some of this might be a little bit old after that. So it's saying that an inflatable structure has to have 2 generators blowing at the same time. It's got to be maintained in a stable position in case one of the generators fails. So we've got a backup generator, just in case. And then there has to be a technician on standby, ready to go.
With like a foot pump?
No.
With a to peak Joe Blow?
Yeah, so then it goes even further than this. One of the generators has to be petrol powered, so you can't have 2 electric ones.
Yeah.
And there needs to be an adequate supply of fuel nearby to the generator.
Well, that's obvious, because in case there's, the machines rise up, there's, I don't know, an EMP blast that knocks out the electric generator.
Yeah. Oh, actually, one final point I missed out. The structure needs to be secured to at least 10 anchor points.
At least 10.
At least 10. 9, you got no chance. UCI will be straight after you.
Something which I think, another rule, which may outrage many of the GCN audience. I know this is a divisive issue.
Yeah.
Mudguards are banned.
Yeah. I actually really like mudguards.
Or fenders, if you're in America.
I guess, so according to this rule here, it comes as a non-essential fairing or element, and as such, is a big no-no in terms of the UCI. I think how good road races would be in the wet if everyone had mudguards. Everyone's staying nice and clean.
Everyone wearing okay.
We're not wearing them, using them. Yeah. Too many coffees are not allowed
Right.
UCI have got a strict rule on the amount of caffeine that is prohibited in your body.
What's the maximum?
So according to this rule, in fact, it's actually taken from an International Olympic Committee rule. Mm-hmm. It's 600 to 800 milligrams of caffeine.
Okay, so
it's a lot.
Just to be clear, there's quite a few nutrition brands out there that make shots, caffeine shots.
Yes.
Which they say on them only have one of these like a day.
Yeah.
And they're usually about 100 to 150 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah,
most energy gels have around 30 milligrams of caffeine in them. So based on that rule, you'd have to have sort of 6 to 7 of those in a 30-minute period in order to fail the threshold limit. But I think that,
I mean, it's not something that I think most people are going to run into problems with, but...
No. I think you'd be in a bad way. I think if you had that much caffeine, you would have a negative impact on your performance.
And in terms of if you wanted to get that from drinking coffee, I think you'd be in the realms of 7 espressos within a short period. More.
Yeah.
Well, I obviously have very strong coffee, maybe. So those are some of the obscure rules that we've picked out. There's probably loads of others. Hopefully, if you've got any good ones that you think we've missed out, let us know in the comments section down below. But we think we should have a poll, shouldn't we, on this? What does everyone think of the UCI? Not specifically on the rules that we've just spoken about, but along the lines of whether you think the UCI are doing a good job in terms of preserving the tradition of the sport with keeping things safe, or do you think they're stifling innovation and progress within the sport? Yeah, I'm keen to know what everyone thinks.
I think they got. I like to abuse them, but I think they try.
Yeah, I think they try. I think they do a good job, but there's some areas that could be changed.
Time now for Hot Tech, and we begin this week with an incredible looking indoor training bike. This is from a company called Movity Bikes, and it's a tilt bike. Now, I actually saw this at Rouleur, the bike show, but I didn't put it in the Hot Tech Rouleur video because, I was going to miss my train home. So, I'm sorry about that, but I'm telling you about it now. Yeah. Now, this thing is pretty radical. The idea is that it's an indoor trainer, but taken to the next level. So it now tilts, and it is designed in such a way that you can actually steer it, your bike, and you have steering, but then also not just steering by way of going like that. You can actually kind of tilt like you would actually steer a bike in the real world. Yeah. It looks quite incredible. It actually works apparently with your Xbox as well. As a controller, you can plug it in.
Means you can play Matt Hoffman Pro BMX?
Yes.
So it works on the same lines as a smart trainer, so the resistance is automatically controlled with an electromagnet, so you've got that nice fluid pedaling motion, and it's designed to, like you say, recreate the feelings that you get when you're outside riding your bike. Something I did spot about it is it says it has working brakes, although I'm not sure why in any kind of online racing or anything I'd want a brake.
Well, we've seen Zwift heading in this direction. A couple of years ago at Eurobike, I actually had a go on a Zwift sort of prototype beta, where there was steering involved.
Sorry, you got me then, yeah.
But they've not we've not sort of seen that fully get rolled out yet. But I think it's logical that the next generation of bikes are going to be in this way, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, so details a little bit thin on the ground in terms of availability and some of the pricing of this, but I should imagine it'll be in line with the other indoor training bikes that are out there.
Yeah. Stay tuned, viewers, and we'll let you know developments as and when we hear them.
Next up in Hot Tech, SRAM have announced an update which enables users of their 11-speed ETAP derailleurs and mechs to now use the 12-speed access shifters, because recently they announced they were discontinuing the manufacturing of the 11-speed ETAP shifters. So if you've got the 12-speed ones, do this update and you should be able to operate your 11-speed derailleurs. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Making sure, I just think it's good to see a company making sure some of their older technology and products are still supported.
Yeah, not redundant anymore.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice to reduce waste. So also, although it's not really a specific element or bit of tech, I did notice that apparently your heart only beats 8 times a minute when you're riding absolutely full gas in Zwift.
What are you talking about?
Well, I've seen the numbers. I've seen the results of our latest Zwift race. 8 beats a minute you averaged.
Yeah, I was having heart rate strap issues.
Oh, I thought you were going to say heart issues.
No, it kept dropping in and dropping out. So yeah, it said I averaged 8 beats per minute. Actually, I definitely didn't average.
At 330 watts as well.
Yeah.
That would be impressive, isn't it? Just like an old steam engine.
Well, it would actually be a heart rate that would be less than a blue whale, the largest mammal in the world, but theoretically slightly more than what Godzilla's heart rate would be were he a real animal, based on the common interpretation of Godzilla. Godzilla's heart rate, I actually worked it out, it would be around 6 beats per minute based upon allometric scaling.
Wow, there you go, you heard it here first, but in slightly more interesting news or information, we've actually been competing in the Zwift Racing League over the last few weeks, some weeks with success, or relative success.
We would have done well in the team time trial were it not for the fact that Hank got dropped.
He did get dropped. You and I were there at the finish with Si, doing our best, and Hank specifically let us down. I'm solely going to blame him for...
We needed 4 to finish in order to pass, but Hank dropped out.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
He said his phone battery died, but whatever.
Thing is,
not
right,
listening.
I get dropped doing anything, and everyone, it's all of us, everyone's like...
There's videos made about it.
Yeah. Hank gets dropped, no one notices.
No one bats an eyelid. Oh well. Well, we've let everyone know now.
Yeah. Some quick-fire bling carbon tech now. Check out these oversized pulley wheels we saw on Instagram. They're from DigiRit, full carbon cage and carbon wheels on there. 13-tooth, 19-tooth sprockets on them. What do you think of those? Put them on your bike?
I don't know if I would. They are very bling, maybe slightly too bling for me.
Yeah, well, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. What's next, Alex?
Next up, we've got something called the Crown Cruiser. And this is something we spotted on Indiegogo, I think it was on. And it's a crowdfunding campaign. And it's a very, very funky looking e-bike sort of e-motorbike thing. Giant carbon fibre frame, monocoque design. And it weighs in at 25 kilograms. So it's quite a lot. I've got some of the stats here for you. Range of different battery options. So you've got between, I think, about 37 miles, 45 or 50, and then with the largest battery capacity up to about 100 miles of range. Now, like lots of e-bike manufacturers out there, they're claiming it has a top speed of 31 miles an hour. Of course, that's going to be restricted, depends on where you live in the world. Chances are it's only going to be like 25k an hour. So, yeah, quite a different approach to take. We've got big, chunky tyres. I think they're about 3 inches wide. So it really does resemble something closer to a motorbike than an e-bike.
Next up, we've got an exciting update to one of the best bits of cycling tech I think there is. It's an essential piece of any cyclist's wardrobe, I'd say. The Castelli, Gabba, and, well, now Perfetto, which is a long sleeve version. So it's been around a while, and there was a time when it first launched, revolutionary product. Teams were getting UCI fines for wearing it because they all wanted it, even though their clothing sponsor didn't make it. Well, one of the issues that there's been with the Gabba for a while is the fact that the special fabric is quite hard to print onto.
Yeah.
So you have a limited choice of colours. However, they've just brought out this. Check this out. It's got this really cool, like, textile design print on it, and they've sort of worked out how to do that now. But let us know what you think of that. I think it looks
I think it's
brilliant.
cool. It's the first time I think I've seen this material printed on use. Is it sublimation printing?
In that way, yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Next, we've got some new track bike gorgeousness for you from Look. So this is called the 895 Vitesse. It's just launched, and it is a full monoblock carbon track bike frame. I've got some stats for you.
Yeah, hit me with them.
They say it's really, 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 really stiff.
Is that their technical term?
That
for
was,
it?
okay. 205 Newton meters of bottom bracket stiffness.
I mean,
is the number they're giving.
Hopefully that's great.
And it has the same fork on it as the T20, which is the bike that won Olympic medals in Tokyo this summer. So that's their top of the range bike. This bike, as far as we can tell, is aimed to sit in a slightly more affordable price point than that. So it's about half the price, roughly, for the frame set of the T20. And it uses a rotative track carbon stem available in 18 different sizes. So it's highly adjustable so that you can, modify it into a pursuit bike or a drop bar, like sprint bike.
Yeah.
And it also has an integrated one-piece seat post. And you can adjust the height of it on the top, but you do have to sort of cut it.
Oh, they have like a sort of mast that goes over the top.
Yeah,
yeah.
But by having that single built-in seat post construction, they can make the bike more aerodynamic, but they can also make it stiffer, which is crucial for big, powerful track riders, so I'm told.
Just like you.
Definitely not like me.
Yeah.
It's available in 4 sizes, and it's got a couple of nice colourways as well. I like the Côte d'Azur one. Very nice.
Very nice. Right, final bit of hot tech this week is to make you all aware that our Black Friday promotion starts tomorrow. Or if you're watching the show a day later, then it started on Friday the 19th. We've got up to 50% off selected items in the shop. And I'd suggest buying on impulse because all the stock isn't going to last for ages and nor are the discounts. So head over to shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com and see what sort of deals you can find.
I'm going to go and buy a jumper right now that's a different colour to the one I'm wearing because
it looks lovely.
We're wearing the same.
Yeah, but it's a very autumnal colour, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, more hot tech next week.
Time now for Snacks of the Week. Now, after the wasabi peas from last week, we've been sent some more hot things from Sachin Katecha. There you go.
Why do people always send in spicy stuff?
It's not people, it's Sachin Katecha.
Why?
Thanks, Sachin.
Why are you
He
doing
sent
it to
us
me?
some Red Hots cinnamon flavoured candy. I've never had these before.
I guess
I reckon
haven't.
you just do the whole pack in one go.
No, I reckon 100% not. God, they're quite tricky to get into, aren't they? Oh.
They look innocent enough.
I'm going to have 3 to start with. They're awful.
Absolutely fine.
That's dreadful.
Cinnamon flavoured candy, Red Hots.
I'm going to put the spare ones back in the packet.
Yeah, thanks, Sachin, but I'm not going to be taking those on my ride.
No, I can tell you that they're 100 calories per packet.
Great.
Right. Presumably, shortly, I might even look the same colour as a packet.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we'll save those. Hopefully, maybe have a gap between next week's snacks.
Right, it's time for upgrades.
It's now time for screw riding upgrades. Excuse me, buy upgrades, where you submit upgrades or evidence of the upgrades you've made to your bikes, equipments, or cycling lives for the chance to win the ultimate prize. What is the ultimate prize?
A GCN water bottle or bidon if you're French or pretentious.
God, that'd be lovely right now, wouldn't it?
Kea Bengu, with his giant mountain bike upgrade last week, was up against Alex Tibbe, 2005, with a Fuji Roubaix frame set. Alex Tibbe overwhelmingly won the vote, 75%, despite Alex voting for the other one.
Yeah, I did vote for the other one, actually. Sorry about that.
Well, get in contact on social media and we'll get your bottle out to you.
This week we've got Gustavos with a frame.
Gustavobs.
Yeah, Gustavobs. With a frame he bought for £100, repainted and then fitted with GRX 1x11. And his exact words, very fast on gravel.
That looks fantastic.
Okay, it does look good, doesn't it?
I very much like his colour palette and his choice of colour. And I like the way he's gone for the modern giant kind of logo on there.
Yeah, I do like that. Very downwards angled saddle. But, you know, I'm not one to judge people by their bike setup.
Well, the Wolfman, which we can or cannot confirm if it's the Wolfman from the original UK series of Gladiators, bought what he thought was an original Cinelli. Turns out it was only the stem, but it didn't hold him back from restoring it to make it look the way that he wanted. Here you go, check this out. There's the old tired bike belonging to the Wolfman.
It does look very tired.
And then look at that.
Oh, I think that's amazing.
And what a beautiful quill stem.
That is beautiful.
Just simple, classic, can't go wrong. The sort of, you see the steel lugs on there.
I do like a steel lug bike.
Lugs
and tan wheels on it. It's got brand new wheels.
Crisp bar tape, crisp white saddle.
I think it looks, I don't know, wonderful. And it's not down to us, though, is it? Head over to the GCN app, vote on which upgrade you like the best, and we'll announce the winner next week. It's now time for the Bike Vault. God, it's my favourite part of the show every week. You send in pictures of your bike even, and then we judge them to be either nice or super nice. If they're super nice, well, I ring the bell. So, Ollie, kick us off with our first Bike Vault submission.
This is a Tarmac Sport SL6 from Glade.wav.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I like this.
That's good, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where is that? That's a nice part of the world. That's a nice palace.
It's a wonderful palace. What am I going to make of this bike?
I think it's nice. I just think there's too much gubbins.
Yeah, but it is nice. Yeah, too many infractions. It's just a nice from me. Apologies for that. Next in is...
Anne Ward Denial 55.
Oh, okay.
With an 80x proof.
Oh, I like this. This is cool. I'm hitting that was super nice. The colour scheme is great.
Bullhorn bars, different. We don't see those often. But super nice.
Super nice, all right, yeah.
Mr. Starkey with a Trek Madone that, well, Mr. Starkey says her name is Electra.
Everyone can see even in the fog.
Neon. It's very neon.
Do you know what? I think everyone should have a fluoro bike. I'm a big fan of that colourway.
The cassette and chain looks filthy, though. That's what's holding me back. Nice.
Well, cool fact for you, not really that important, but the difference between mist and fog is when visibility is less than 100 metres, you call it fog, not mist.
Right. Cool story, bro.
Yeah. This next submission looks incredible.
Yes. I mean, I'm going to have to really... I mean, this is you, Alex Payton.
What?
I'm going to... Okay.
Judge it fairly. Judge it fairly. Okay. I mean, I'm going to vote it a super nice.
Do you know what? I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you a super nice on that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you find anything I've done wrong?
Is that a test? I mean, there's only one bottle cage on there, which I'm finding a little bit weird.
Well, I don't ride for far enough that I need to.
Also, that rear tyre is slightly skew-if.
Oh, it is actually, yeah.
But I'll give you...
And it looks like I need to clean a lot of leaves up in my garden.
Yeah.
So we're going super nice?
mow the lawn. I'm going to go super nice.
Yeah, super nice. Super nice, I'll cut the grass next week.
Mark Edwards, 52. Tan walls, yes or no on his Vitus Evo Pro? What do you make of that?
Tan walls, it's a yes from me. And the bike...
And it's a yes from me.
I do like the bike, actually.
I'm going to go super nice.
Yeah, it's well presented. Yeah. Like that. Super nice.
Who's next?
Next up, we have got Bruce Velo. Cracking username.
On a Schwinn Paramount.
A Schwinn 1987.
Look at that Brooks saddle on there.
Oh, I do like that.
Do you know what? I'm going super nice on that.
God, this has been an absolute belter of a bike roll.
Look at that matching sort of... Is that Cinelli bar tape on there? Oh.
Well, it could be. Yeah, super nice all round.
It's a very nice bike, that.
So many super nices. The bella's gone out of tune.
Harish K has got his hybrid bike.
It's a coupe or co-op.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of this. Not very often we get sort of really good hybrids or entry spec bikes, but...
I was going to give it a super nice.
Yeah, I like the fact... Go on.
I saw that the dork disc remains intact on the rear wheel.
That's a bit of a...
Can't allow infractions
rookie mistake.
We can't, we can't allow that.
Even though they've carefully lined their bike up and angled it to get a reflection off the puddle.
It's clearly his pride and joy.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic bike. But please, remove the dork disc.
Yeah. Okay, well that wraps up this week's Bike Vol. That was our last submission. It's just a nice from us. We do still like it, but a few little improvements that could be made here and there. Hope you enjoyed this week's GCN Tech Show. If you have, give this video a big thumbs up. And remember to comment down below about some more obscure UCI rules and what ones you think are the weirdest, maybe. Right.
See you next week.
See you next week.